Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the You Always Win podcast.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you're ready for the weekend.
Yeah, that's funny, though. If it actually comes out on Friday and not the following Tuesday.
Shut up. I was moving.
If you guys didn't realize, that was my little jab at Guns.
Yeah.
He right after we did the podcast, he broke down his whole office.
Yeah.
Everything was shut down. Internet was switched off.
Yeah, so I had to actually, that day where I would normally on Friday morning, I would normally edit, or just, it's not heavily edited, just put it together, sync it all up, and then upload it, but I literally had to have everything disconnected and I had to be at the other house to reconnect it. So it was a little late, people. It was a little late, but you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
All right, so we got some topics today, some cool, weird things. You know, it's like those things that make you scratch your head, say,
like,
that's too bad, I don't understand.
Yeah,
what's
some
the big
unfortunate
deal?
news, you know,
Right?
some unfortunate
I like to scratch your head, I don't get it, that's too bad, and I don't care. Things like that.
yeah.
Well, I guess the first one we could talk about is Telltale Games and their massive layoffs.
Yeah, so 200 or 250 people around there. I'm hearing different, like they didn't lay off obviously every single person in the company, but majority of them, I think like 95 to 99% of them were laid off.
Like a lot of the contractors.
Yeah, and I heard that what happened was their funding that they had hoped for this next session fell through, and it was substantial. Like you're talking millions of dollars. When you have 200 to 250 people, you're not talking about a little bit of money. You know, you're talking about 40,000, 50,000 per year salaries, and when you're talking that many people, that's a lot of money on there.
It's a lot of money.
So
I mean, we had with the last company I worked for, we had 45 employees at our high point.
Yeah.
And like a great year for us was like 13 million.
Yeah.
But we like the last 10 years it was more like 8, and we were struggling.
Yeah.
You know, we tried never to lay people off, but it ultimately cost everyone natural bonuses and things like that. So you got to keep in mind, having that volume of employees, just how much money it takes to keep the doors open.
So, yeah, and then a lot of people, you know, everyone's got an opinion. This is the internet, right? Where everyone's like, oh, I'm just, instead of reading things, I've got an opinion, I'm going to share it with people because people care about it. So, well, just like what we're doing, right? But they're talking about a lot of finger pointing, a lot of, oh, this is mismanagement, oh, they should be ashamed of themselves, oh, they're doing this. And I'm not saying that what they did was wrong. I'm not saying that they didn't screw up, that they didn't mismanage, but unless you're there, unless you're the people running that company, even as an employee, there is likely some stuff that you are not aware of. Just because you're an employee of a company doesn't mean you know everything that's going on. So even if you hear things or read things from employees saying, well, this and this, it could be pure speculation. And of course, it's also fueled by their anger, rage, disappointment, whatever it is. So you have to be very careful in what you read. I'm not trying to take either side here, because at the end of the day, while it's unfortunate, that's the business world. People get laid off. It doesn't matter whether it's, you know, like, oh, it's brutal in the development. It's brutal in jobs in general. Factories shut down. Hundreds of thousands of people lose their jobs all the time. It's unfortunate. It's horrible. Yes, they have families, but I don't know. It's life. It's part of it. You know what I mean? The whole severance package thing, you know?
Because there was a lot of talk in this kind of almost a makeshift game developer union. Started really attacking them, saying, "Well, you didn't give them severance packages."
Disgusting, they said. You should.
Now look, let me just tell you something that there's this thing in the United States called unemployment. When you work and you pay your taxes. In there is an unemployment tax, a percentage that you pay into the unemployment bin
for these situations.
Everyone.
For these situations.
And if you're a contractor and you're not filing W-2s and you're not paying in this stuff,
because you don't want to pay that,
because you want it on the front side and not the back side, then it's up to you to save it for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And the other side of this is, dude, every company, most companies don't do severance packages.
No,
Meaning,
not when there's mass layouts or layoffs or whatever.
Hey, if you put in 20 years in a company and maybe 25 is retirement from that company, but they have to let you go sooner, they're going to give you a severance package of maybe 6 months to a year's salary because they had to let you go early. But you've put in the time. If you're just a contractor, I don't. It actually upsets me that people would expect to get something that someone else earned over a long period of time. You're not entitled to get whatever the heck you want because you hear about it in the corporate industry, right? You hear that there's a such thing as a severance package.
There's no
you don't
legal
want to put in the
entitlement.
time. You got to put in the time, you guys. If not, you got to put in the taxes. You think that we're happy that 50% of every dollar that we make, 50 cents of every dollar we make, we lose in taxes?
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Being self-employed.
It's a brutal world.
Being self-employed as a YouTuber who does things full-time, whether you like, oh, I get a real job, any of that bull crap there, it is a tremendous amount of work. You don't get paid vacations. You don't get benefits. You don't get retirement. Everything is on you to do that. You either put that money aside, get those benefits, which can cost you a tremendous amount of money. If you've always worked for a company, you have no idea how expensive it is, especially in the United States, to get private insurance. You're talking like for a normal plan, what? Like over $1,000 for a decent plan?
Yeah,
like per month.
Did you say $1,000 plus? You know, like if you got paid gas, like I had gas cards and insurance. That alone right there is easily $1,500 a month that you lose when you go on your own. So it's unfortunate that people got laid off. It's unfortunate that
it's not good.
That management did not manage the company correctly to maintain because
allegedly.
But because a lot of the Telltale games people were interested in or excited in, you know, the different things that they did.
Like a choose your own adventure story type, story driven mode.
Something went awry though, whether it was management or funding or a combination of both.
Maybe it was just the funding. Maybe as much as they're like, oh, the management and this, if they were reliant on huge funding backers of this, right? To get this project up, because you're not listen, they're not just choosing to do The Walking Dead, a copyright protected show by themselves. They're backed by people. There are the companies that back that would back this project and fuel it and give the money. But if they're like, well, you know what, we don't want to do it, that costs a lot of money. And if they don't have that money, what are you going to do? You can't do anything about that. Now there was a part in there that they were recently that Telltale Games was saying, you know what, we're talking to a bunch of other sort of third-party investors, rather, that we may be able to complete the game. And they're getting attacked again by, you mentioned that sort of gamers union thing, this grassroots organization that protects the developers and everything. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or anything, but that's what they're doing. And they're like, well, if you're going to do that, if you have money to complete the game, you should be paying their severance. It's a very ignorant, very ignorant statement. Because if you're getting backers from somewhere else, that money is not theirs. That money, they can choose to say, hey, we want to back that up. And maybe then, if they get that money, then they can hire those people back, but they're not going to get the severance for it. That money is not, like, a private investor is not obligated to pay your company's severance. Are two totally separate instances. They're two totally different events, and one does not feed the other necessarily. This is unfortunate. They had to let people go because of whatever the reasons were. But if all of a sudden the backers are like, whether it's now or 2 years from now, they're like, whoa, we want to back this. It doesn't mean you go back 2 years and go, well, you know what, we kind of owe these people money first. Completely. The time, you know, I know it's relatively close to this time that they've been laid off, but very different instances. It doesn't mean that they have the money, and it doesn't mean that they take that money and owe the severance. As nice as that would be, that's a fairy tale. It's not how it works in the business world. Just doesn't.
They have the right to try and salvage the company too. You know, they don't just because they let people go. That's usually to save the bigger picture and save other jobs as well and complete that. So you got to really look at things like this with an open mind. Try not to think that you know everything, because I don't know everything. Guns doesn't know everything. But from the outside looking in, it's unfortunate people lost their jobs. Hopefully they have the right skills to move to a different place and continue their craft. But don't go after a company like that saying that they owe it's so annoying to me though, because
I also feel bad.
You got to earn severance, man. You got to put in years and years. Now, if there's maybe some guys there for 10 years or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm saying if they were there for 10 years, even if they were a contractor, I still think that they've put in and they've dedicated their time and energy to the company. Those are the people that should look and get something, or those are the first to come back, or those are the last to get let go. There's always something that needs to show
seniority, right? You see
dedicated
seniority and
time and seniority.
And let's just step back here for a second. As much as everyone's pointing the finger at the management, you're the evil, blah 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 blah. Do you think for one instance that these people, whoever it is, a group, one person who started this company from nothing, because that's how all companies start, rose it up, got all in this, do you think they want their business to fail? Do you think that they want to let all those people go? They don't want to let those people go. There are hard decisions that have to be made in business. Those people, or that person who runs and operates and started Telltale Games, they don't want it to fail. It's not a decision. This isn't something they want to do. It's like a hard decision, and it had to be made. And
malicious.
No, it's an unfortunate thing, but getting all pitchforks and getting all angry mobs and accusing them without actually having an understanding is ignorant. I just find it very, very ignorant what's happening right now.
Yeah, until you've ran your own business, and most business owners that I know they really care about their employees. Yeah, they really do. But at the end of the day, if they have to let people go and try and save the bigger picture, they have to do that too, because that's business. It's not friendship, it's business. All right, so on to our next topic. This is a funny one, you guys. So Fortnite. Fortnite has jiggle physics.
Yeah, I think it was a new character or something, or in the latest update, I think that's what
she was
happened.
doing a dance, like with her arms up, and her chest actually moved. Like it moved, like, you know, like the human body when you move.
Her breasts were jiggling. If a woman
they were moving.
And we're not trying to be overly sexual or anything like that. Let's just be mature about this.
No, it's like real life. Like I move. I mean, I don't have man boobs or anything, but if I move my arm,
you can see my it jiggles a little bit.
Well, she just did this and danced, and that's normal. And it's whatever, okay? And I guess there was a huge uproar about this.
The funny thing that inappropriate 8-year-olds playing this. I found
that parents are saying, well, my 8-year-old plays this. Let's stop. Hold on. Scratch the record real quick. What is the age rating on this game?
I believe it's teen or 13.
Okay, be better parents. Be better parents then. Before you
let your kids
people.
Play it. A 13-year-old should be well aware of that. And if you're holding your 13-year-old back and they're like, oh, what are her breasts and everything like that, you are not preparing your child for this world. Like,
number two, if you're worried about a natural movement of a beautiful body woman, right? You're worried about that. But the object of the game is to kill 99 other players and hopefully get a bunch of headshots.
99 murders take place, but you're worried about a little bit of jiggle on some
99 murders.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, my 8-year-old is very good at murdering 99 people, but I don't want him to see. I mean, I guess when the kid's mom puts like something on the counter, nothing moves. Like it's like stone.
But it's not even overly. It's not even overly sexual. Yeah, it's not even overly sexualized though. I didn't find it like crazy. You know, you see those games. There's a lot of games on Steam. There's a lot of games in just normal fighting. Batman.
Oh no, Batman, dude. You want
there's a lot
jiggle physics?
Way more. This was subtle. But here's the thing that I want to bring up. I want to bring this up because I find it BS. Is that Epic Games is like, oh, whoa, That was not supposed to happen. That was actually a bug, and we're looking to fix it. I'm calling BS on that, Epic.
Not true.
That's a load of horse crap. Like, if there was a glitch where things, you know, sometimes there's like graphical things where things go, you know, just
like
stretching all over the place,
and like you see the graphical thing.
No. That dance and her breast jiggled naturally. You programmed that, Epic. You absolutely, to the core, I would bet my house on that. Well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I would bet anything that I own in the fact that was absolutely 100% intentional, but the backlash made it like, oh, it's a bug. Don't lie to people. Stop making us like you think that you're smart enough. All you're doing is lying to people. And have some respect for the gamer base. Have respect for the people out there. Just don't just like, you know what? It was a bad decision. We're gonna remove it. Don't say, oh my god, it's a bug. Like, come on,
they should have said, look,
lie.
the game's rated 13 and older, but we're sorry if people are offended by it. We apologize and we'll change it.
Go back to murdering.
What happened to truth? Like, in honesty, like who doesn't respect a company or a person or a spokesperson who is just honest and upfront and say, hey, it was in there. No ill intent.
We were just trying to make it seem like a natural flowing. Any girl, if you're a girl out there, you know, even in a sports bra, right, for joggers and something, go ahead, jump up and down. Tell me that they don't jiggle. Tell me that they're not. It's just natural. It's not a sexual thing. If she's like dancing around like that, it happens. Yeah. It happens. Yeah. It's not like there was anything sexual about that dance or anything like that. And if I find it, I'll put it in the link so you can actually see it if I can find it. Do you find,
though, that the people that really focus on things, like maybe they have some kind of weird fetish in their head. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, cartoon boobs. Oh my gosh, that must be bad because I'm thinking sexual thoughts. It's like, not all people think the same. Not all people are turned on by Japanese anime, you know. not all people are pedophiles, you know what I mean? They don't look at what looks to be very young people.
But you're right, though. You mentioned this before. The fact that if you're even one of those people like, well, it's inappropriate, sexual. What's inappropriate is murdering people. That's what the whole game is about. Whether it's fun and there's cartoony, you headshot, you murder people, you shoot people with shotguns, a tiny little bit of jiggle, you know, on a nice, pretty looking girl in the cartoon world.
And your kid in there yelling and screaming and freaking out because they lost or because their headshot didn't work right. That's okay too. Yeah. It's like what you're doing is you're opening Pandora's box for us to, you want to criticize one small thing. Well, let's open that box up and let's start saying, how good of a parent are you being, letting them play this game? It's hypocritical.
If you're one of those parents, you're hypocrites. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying as a parent that you shouldn't have the choice to allow them to do it. But don't come out of left field and criticize something like that when the game is about murdering other people with guns.
It's not rated for your little Johnny Pee-Pee pants, okay? No Johnny Pee-Pee pants. It's, 13 and older. And a 13-year-old, I guarantee you, is quite well aware. A 13-year-old boy at school, they're noticing those things.
But what I found interesting in that article was the amount of like 8-year-olds that play. It's like higher than Minecraft was.
Yeah, it's really really high.
Yeah, a lot of people of all ages play it. I understand.
Free
what
and
I'm getting at
consoles.
Is at that age, that's for a shooter game.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's cartoon or not. Yeah. That many people don't play Borderlands. No. Borderlands, same thing, cartoony shooter game. Yeah. This is a shooter where it's a death match to the end. Yeah. You know? And there's all these other dance moves that they do. If something's not jiggling, they're still dancing is the movement of the body. It's appealing, right? Yeah. It's like, hey, that's a cool move. But none of that affects you but this one little thing.
Like now, the Latinas dancing on the central. I like that, man.
I didn't see anyone say that it was like exploiting women. That's not what this is about. No one that I saw said it was like exploitation or was rude. No. It was just about the fact that they moved. And we thought it was really funny that it would be a good topic. Yeah. What do you guys think? Tell us down below in the comment section how you feel about it. Do you think it's ridiculous? Do you think that it's like I said, that if you want to nitpick at something, then you got to open the box up and look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, I should be letting my kid at a certain age play this game because they're 5-6 years under the recommended or restricted age limit as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're going to move from boobs to controllers. I said boobs. Demonetize that, son.
You laugh. That might happen. Maybe they, you know what? Maybe they search for the word demonetize when you say, they're like, oh, you think we're joking? You think it's funny to joke about that? Fine, demonetize. Okay. You're like, what?
So this is a topic that I don't know a lot about because I don't care and I don't get it. I don't understand why you would put 1 second of effort into worrying about this. So, I'm going to say the topic, and Gun's going to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
PS4 has officially, gave up the ridiculous fight to open up crossplay.
Oh, thank goodness. It's about time. It's about time that they allowed it.
Yeah,
apparently.
They say, and the article said, congratulations to Sony. What do you mean? Sony was the only one that had something to lose, because when you're in first place...
No.
And everybody in last place is like, well, we're all doing a certain thing, but look at them over there. Sony, they don't care about the gamers. No, they care about the people who bought their console, which is the majority of people.
Yeah.
You know, fanboys beware, because you're entitled to your own opinion, but not your own facts.
Yeah.
I love that line, dude. I love that line.
Yeah, facts don't care about your feelings.
Crossplay. And it really, what I can see is it really revolved around Fortnite specifically.
Yeah, it was such a big movement.
Games,
it was such a big movement because Fortnite's so huge. I mean, there's always been this talk about crossplay, and Sony's always had crossplay, but not with Microsoft, its main competitor.
Oddly enough, with PC.
PC, yeah. Portal 2, there was crossplay. There's been not just Portal 2. If you go on there, you could find on Wikipedia or whatever, look up crossplay. Look up how many games. There are a tremendous number of PS3 games or PlayStation games that have always had crossplay with PC, but never the other way around. Never with Xbox. Never.
So maybe you could explain this to me, and then maybe some people that are in the audience that are like me, like, what does this matter? Tell me why crossplay, and why should it matter? Why should it matter to me as a owner of a PlayStation 4?
What was it? Unless you have a friend.
I don't have me. You're my only friend.
Okay. if you had friends that were on an Xbox for whatever reason, and you wanted to hop in a game with them, you couldn't do it. You couldn't do that, and you couldn't take your existing character. Say you had this character that you put all this time in and invested all this time on Xbox, and all of a sudden, but you wanted to play with your friends on the PlayStation. You'd have to have a completely separate character and then spend all the money and the V-Bucks to go over there. But now it's like that character. No, the V-Bucks don't transfer, but your character and all the skins and all that other stuff do. So wherever you're buying V-Bucks, which is like the in-game currency, obviously you would know that. But wherever you buy
because they're two different marketplaces. You got Sony and Xbox.
Well, they make money. Microsoft wants you to buy V-Bucks on their system. And this is the whole point why it was not a good decision business-wise for Sony. All they did was concede because right now Fortnite is huge. And everyone's like, oh, do this. Honestly, like, is it that important? Is there that many people? I can tell you right now that there's not that many people that would crossplay. You know why? The simple fact that there's over a 2-to-1, more than a 2-to-1 ratio of PlayStation 4 owners and gamers, even on Fortnite, versus Xbox. So really, there can't be the majority of people that want this. They just happen to be the loudest whiners.
Minority.
You know,
the loudest minority.
Loudest screaming, we need this and we need that. Well, if you're on PlayStation, you don't really care. Why do you need to play with Xbox? You can't communicate with them. Because you can't go into party chat.
No.
It's a completely separate system. So how fun is that? Like, really, is that? It's like this movement. It's just perpetuate. Everyone wants to get on something because it feels like the right thing to do, the social justice.
You want to fight against something, right? You just want to pick a battle and fight against it and not really even know if you're for or against it.
Yeah, and really, the article too, I don't know if it was that article, but they're like, Fortnite and PlayStation fans win but Microsoft wins the most. And that is so true. We talked about this before, and I said it doesn't make sense for Sony because why would you allow them to play and cross-play and transfer the thing when they could end up going on, say, Microsoft, spending their money on the microtransactions and the V-Bucks rather than on the PlayStation? Make no mistake, when they do that, all that money, like what you spend, not 100% of it goes to Epic Games. A portion of it, because they handle the transactions, they handle all of that, is going to Sony or going to Microsoft. So Sony having majority of the gaming community, they stand to lose. They gained nothing other than to appease people to shut them up.
I get it. I think I get it now. I think I see what it was. So this was a big push by Microsoft, like riling up their troops. Okay, so Microsoft was riling up their Xbox people. Here's what happens: little Johnny Pee Pee Pants, who has an Xbox, this Christmas is like, Mom, Dad, all my friends are on Sony PlayStation 4. And we like playing a lot of different games, not just Fortnite. Can I get a PlayStation for Christmas this year? Because I'd like to be able to play with my friends. What does that do? You lose business for Microsoft, you gain business for Sony. But if they say, no, Johnny Pee Pee Pants, Sony just said they're allowing crossplay, so now you can play with your friends from your Xbox. So Microsoft wins, Sony just concedes and says whatever. You know,
or for those that don't even have a system and they're trying to decide. Majority of the gamers right now, the majority market share, over 66%, probably closer to 70 now, or getting around there, 66% at minimum, is in the Sony PlayStation. So if you're looking at statistical probability, there's a statistical probability that your friend, whoever it is, plays on the PlayStation. And Sony wants you to buy that. They want you to buy their console so you can play with your buddy. If you open up crossplay across everything, your friend can be like, I don't really like the PlayStation. I can still play with you. I'll just buy this Xbox.
Right.
It's pure business.
For the fanboys that are out there steaming from your ears, listen. The last generation Xbox 360 kicked Sony's butt.
Till the end.
They had a way better UI.
Hands down. Their operating system was way better.
The Xbox Live Marketplace, their software was leaps and bounds ahead. Okay,
Sony sucked bad.
This generation, Sony decided to get on the right architecture and improve their UI in their PlayStation Store, and now they're kicking butt. Who's to say in a year or two, when the next generation of stuff comes out, that Microsoft isn't back up on top?
It could flop back and forth depending on business decisions.
We're talking about right now. Whether you're a fan or you don't have to be a fan or not, the facts of sales are the facts of sales, and that's just where it's at. So if you're a shareholder in that #1 position, you don't want to see them fold because you want to see them continue to make sales. And by doing this, it's just like politics, right? So you have these special interest groups that go out and spend money to influence voters and influence politicians to vote and do what they want from behind the scenes. That's what Microsoft did. They're out there riling up the troops.
Dude, it was propaganda and marketing worked perfectly. This was all giant marketing, and the seeds were planted in all the sheeples' little minds, and it worked. And everyone starts, this is exactly what we need. Let's get this. I'm like,
the Kool-Aid was drank.
Why does it matter? But it just feels like this weird entitlement again. It's just this holy state of we deserve this, or we should get this, we deserve this. You're on a totally different gaming platform. Just because we're all playing kind of similar games or AAA games go on multiple platforms, you don't have the right, and there's nothing written in stone that we should be able to play with other people, like online. I've been playing since the Atari 2600, solo, and up until recently, until the PS3 when I got that, if my buddy's not sitting beside me on the couch, I'm not playing with anyone, let alone the other gaming consoles. There was no cross gameplay. This is like a thing of today where everyone wants everything and they think that they're entitled to it, and it's such a travesty and a violation of our rights if we don't get to do it. It's a video game.
I think it's based really heavily on Fortnite, its popularity.
For sure.
And its age group, you know? You'll have a lot of kids in school that have different consoles. And at the time, they didn't know that maybe Fortnite was coming out. They didn't know that they weren't going to be able to play with this big group of friends.
Yeah.
I understand that, but Bethesda came out and tweeted or something about like, congratulations for finally doing this or something.
Yeah. They were congratulating them like, hey, that's really good.
And then they say, but Fallout 76 is not going to be cross-play compatible.
Yeah, they followed up. They're like, despite that, as we said before Sony made this decision, and they released this statement long ago with Fallout 76. They're like, this is not meant for cross-play. We're not doing it. But who knows, though, man? Because, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of people, and they're going to make it a bigger deal than it is. And suddenly now cross-play is the big thing. It has to have cross-play. Honestly, if I was Sony, I would have
play the old devil's advocate here for a second.
Play with it.
Okay, so the way that I could see this to be beneficial to us, I always look, how does it benefit us as gamers?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Nothing that we talked about really benefits us as gamers. This is big corporations fighting for your money.
Yeah.
And you think that they did you a favor so you could play with your one friend.
How was the Kool-Aid?
Let's say that an awesome game comes out. I mean, let's not talk about Fortnite. The world revolves around Fortnite right now.
Right now, yeah.
But let's say an awesome game comes out, but you only have a couple 100,000 on Xbox and a couple 100,000 on PlayStation, and it would be awesome to get all those people together. Like, I'm just going to throw out an example like Fallout 76 or Elder Scrolls Online or a big MMO type game where it would be awesome to have huge servers worth of people. That's where it could benefit the player to have this huge player base,
bigger
have
pool,
this incredible
player base,
to pull from. I could see that, but Fallout 76 has a 1-week beta exclusive going to Xbox. Xbox.
Yeah.
Sony has got exclusives for Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure about Battlefield. I don't know about Battlefield.
I think it's
either one has it.
I thought it was Xbox.
It might be Xbox. So they just throw money at them, and you know, again, that's a business. And if you're on the wrong console at that time, it sucks for me or you or whoever. But that's business. It is what it is. You can wait an extra week.
You're not going to die. Everything's going to be okay.
But it's very interesting as if you're listening to this and you're younger and you don't understand, you don't really have the ability to think from a business point of view because maybe you haven't been out in the workforce yet. As you get older, you might look back upon something like this and go, wow, now I kind of see like where they were coming from, because before I thought they were total loons. But when you're in the workforce and you understand that all the different levels that happens when it comes to money, like it's all bottom line is money. That there's some weird like people behind the scenes that are pushing these agendas, and if you blindly follow, drink the Kool-Aid, if you're going to be sheep, whatever it is, you don't really know what you're standing for, and that's unfortunate.
No one, I promise you, I guarantee you 100%, no one is more happy than Microsoft. This is a win for Microsoft. Not necessarily for the gamers. This is a win for a few of you out there that really, it's really important in this one game that's going to have crossplay with Xbox. What a crazy time we're in. But Microsoft is just smiling, grin, and they're like, boom, high fives around the office. We just had them break down the biggest competitor, and now that opens it up on the biggest game that everyone wants to play. So and there's consoles being sold every month, hundreds of thousands. Like there's still PlayStation still selling 100,000 to 144,000 consoles a month. This game, if it's that big and impactful as it is right now, you're going to see some numbers shift. It's going to have an impact. This is a Microsoft marketing propaganda campaign that happened, and it worked. We don't, like they're saying, everyone's like, oh, we all won. Really? Did your life suddenly change now? You can't get into parties or anything like that. Other games, like you said, but Fallout 76, when you've got an exclusivity
timed exclusive,
you can never have crossplay.
You can't do that.
Because one gets it early before the other. It never works. It won't work for 76. It won't work for Call of Duty. Just will not work.
Because you have timed exclusives, so you can't just have that open. It's like those games that suck when they don't release the DLC for everyone. When it's paid DLC, then you have some that have it and some that don't.
Yeah.
The lobbies suck.
Yeah.
People get booted out of games, and then the lobbies are partially full. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Same thing would happen with this crossplay if you've got timed exclusive on one and not the other.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen. And you know, truth be told, in all honesty, like as a Call of Duty, hardcore Call of Duty fan, I don't care, and I would love to see the Xbox and PlayStation community together. I don't care one way or the other. The only reason why I like that is because there's always going to be people in the lobby. Because like I still, even today, I played two plus hours of World War II. Despite whether you like it or not, I always play Call of Duty. I play it a lot, just on my own time. I was playing it, but it was sometimes it's hard to fill a lobby. If you combine both of those, the Xbox and the PlayStation, it would probably be a lot easier. It would extend it. You'd have more people there, more skill sort of pools to draw from. It would be great, but it's not like that, and it's not going to happen. And really, at the end of the day, I don't really care. It's not going to destroy my life. But you know, it's not that I'm against crossplay. It's just not as big a deal as people are making it out to be, I think.
We're not trying to downplay it if it's a big deal for you, but understand that it's the minority of people, not the majority of people that really even care about this.
No. And it's a Microsoft marketing propaganda thing that happened. I absolutely 100% believe that. In looking at their tweets and how what they were talking about and all of the other stuff, it spurted on. They planted seeds, and it just went boom. Everywhere.
I have some stats here, kind of interesting. It's for Battlefield 1, okay, so low numbers, but I always used to track these because I found it interesting. So there's some websites like Battlefield Stats.
Oh yeah, you always follow those.
Right. So right now as we're recording this, on PC there's 10,600 players.
Okay.
On Xbox One there's 15,000 players, and on PlayStation there's 19,000 players. And it's usually like that. Like Xbox and PlayStation are usually pretty close. When you isolate it down
Which
to
one is that for?
Battlefield 1.
Oh yeah.
So you know, a lot of people have lost interest in that. And we're so close to the newest one.
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't a Battlefield like 3 or 4 that really held your interest. But you can see the numbers on there. So what we're saying is, if you got a great game and you merge those two together, 15,000, 19,000. Now you got a bigger pool to draw from, right?
Yeah.
That would be good for us gamers if that was their intention, but I do not think that was their intention.
No, I don't think so at all. I think this is just marketing and propaganda, and it's a much bigger issue than it should be.
All right, you guys, we're going to wrap this thing up, but I wanted to quickly touch on one little thing I find interesting. Now, I don't watch YouTube videos, so I'm sure there's people that do talk about, especially like zombie channels. But in the big picture of what the news that we look at, and then the information and what we've been talking about, and what the majority of people that we know on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube
gaming
talk about,
websites and everything.
Right. Black Ops, we've been talking about what?
Blackout, the Battle Royale mode.
The Battle Royale mode. This is Treyarch. This is Treyarch. Why is there no huge talk about zombies?
Yeah, like there people are talking about it. Like we get that, like, oh no, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, they'll break a trailer down and they'll guess and they'll get some insider information
people,
but nothing.
No.
Nothing. Like, you know how people say, oh, I hate battle royales, I can't stand. You must be in the minority because
they are. For sure.
This talk has taken over zombies, which is the biggest thing that Treyarch does. In our opinion, right?
Yeah, it would have been the focal point in Black Ops 4. It would have been the focal point of this game had they not put that blackout mode in there.
It's really put zombie talk on the back burner. Not to say that the zombies aren't going to come out and be just absolutely amazing and fun and everything that zombies always are.
Yeah.
But this literally just popped up, this topic, before we started. I'm like, you know what's weird? Is we were talking about, Blackout, and we talk about BR, all this stuff. Where is all the zombie information and talk? Where's all the hubbub about I think people just know that the zombies are going to be good because it's Treyarch. And like I said, I thought the last zombies from Sledgehammer were really good too. I think they did an outstanding job.
I think it's more than that though, dude. You know what it is? I'm not saying what it is. What I think is contributing to this, it's not just the fact that the blackout mode is there. It's not just because of the Battle Royale modes being so popular right now. It's the fact that Call of Duty as a franchise overall has introduced zombies into every single title. They're oversaturating it. They're putting it... It used to be this treat. You'd wait for Treyarch to put out this... You'd be like, oh man, I wonder what the zombies going to be like. It's like, well, here's zombies and here's zombies. Every year, a new zombies. We're getting oversaturated with zombies. And while Treyarch is still... You know, probably the best in everyone's opinion, and most people's opinion, I would say.
Yeah, they are. They're the creators, and they're the best still.
Whether it's Activision's fault or whatever, the fact is that they relied so heavily to help sell those other titles now that they just injected zombies into everything, and I think they did too much of it. I think it's not as special as it used to be, and that's like you said. It's not to say that it's not going to be the best zombies and it's not going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, zombies. It's every single COD has it now. Every single COD.
I think that the community, ourselves included, are partially to blame for that too, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're like, well, yeah, we love zombies, so why can't these other ones do something? Because they had those weird co-op modes that they tried, right? Yeah. Some different things to be like, yeah, this is fun.
I missed Infinity Wards, like in Modern Warfare 2. I missed that co-op one, you know, what is it, Semper Fi and all those other things there. Yeah. I thought that was great, man. I had a blast playing that. I want something fresh and new. I don't want zombies every single time.
It was unique. Like, if they could have evolved that, right? That was their first iteration of it. If they could have evolved that, for you guys out there that are like us, that you got a buddy that you play with once in a while, like co-op, man, that stuff like that. Remember the mission where you had pistols and suppressors and you had to sneak by all the dogs? And,
dude, it was so good.
You had to go, I got the guy on the left, you got the guy on the right.
It was so good,
and
it was so hard, and you had to be so precise. It was a very different experience,
and
I missed
remember the snowmobiles?
Oh, yeah. Going down the hill.
I hit a tree!
Like,
you gotta make
it! It was so good.
The Burger King, or remember the burger one?
Oh, right. Yeah. Sentries and everything.
Dude, that was some fun stuff right there, you guys.
It's different. It may not be zombies, but by doing those two, by not making every single COD, infused with zombies, it makes the zombies, when it comes out, that much more special. It makes that anticipation a lot bigger, instead of, it's zombies again. Yeah, it's going to be great. Oh, man, I love zombies. Treyarch's going to be awesome. But it's not like, oh, my God, we've been waiting. Because think about it. It would have been 3 years. 3 years now. You would totally be stoked for it.
Guilty as charged. Sometimes... when you get what you ask for, it's not really what you wanted. And I'm guilty of that. It's like, if I wanted zombies from every developer within the Call of Duty series, and then you get it, and then you're like,
too much of a good thing, man.
They're not living up to my expectations. I would rather, I'm totally guilty of that, because I love me some zombies, right? But I really, really do also love that other thing. I had so much fun playing those things, just thinking back. Remember, you guys, I'd always put guns on the ground when I could stay in the heli? Yeah, dude. He's on the ground getting blown away, and I got the minigun.
Don't worry, I got you covered.
It's fun.
What?
And it's like, it's almost like a way for them. Once in a while you think that, please don't listen to me, because I really don't know what I want. I just want game more. But it's not what you want, and too much of something.
You think it is.
Yeah, you think it is, but it's not. So we thought that'd be funny to throw in here at the end, you guys. Just that, not a lot of talk about zombies. I know there's talk out there, but nothing like it is for the Battle Royale mode that people are looking forward to. It's almost like zombies are going to be that icing on the cake, that cherry on top. You're like, oh my gosh, I've been so focused on this and playing the beta that when zombies release, you're gonna be like, yeah, dude, so much more. You feel like you're gonna get so much more bang for your buck, right?
Bang.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the You Always Win podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, we touched on some interesting topics. If you guys got something to say about the Telltale layoffs or the Fortnite Jiggle physics, the PlayStation Crossplay, or how you feel about the zombies, like maybe they're just keeping it really under wraps this year. I don't know. But talk about that down in the comment section below. Be kind to each other. Listen before you talk, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Have a good weekend.